We have with us today Maria Thomas. Maria, and I've got the title here, you are the curator of the Botanic Gardens and the Albuquerque Biopark. Great to know you. Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm doing great. Thanks.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And I hear you all have a new exhibit that we can look forward to.
Absolutely. Opening Friday morning at 9:30, we'll have a ribbon cutting for the Cottonwood Gallery, and it features 5 acres of nature trails through the Old San Gabriel Park. Okay. We have an upper trail, which is part of the Old San Gabriel Road, and that is going to be fully accessible. And then we have a nice lower trail that's going to kind of wind through some new wetland areas that we've installed in there. And then we have an outer nature loop, which is an unimproved trail, and it gives you kind of an overall view of the gallery itself, kind of walk around the whole thing.
So is this actually part of the park, and like if you have to go inside the park to get to this, or?
Yes, it's accessed through the Botanic Garden, and you would go through the Heritage Farm, and it kind of continues that experience that, you know, the Heritage Farm is a period farm from the 30s and 40s. Well, the Cottonwood Gallery is designed to bring you back to what the Rio Grande Bosque would have been like during that time, you know, kind of before we put in all the dams and berms and channeled it up. So we're hoping to bring back a lot of the wetland wildlife that you would have seen at that point, both plants and animals. And at this point, we already have, you know, a great array of wildlife out there. We have porcupines, coyotes, we get red-tailed hawks out there.
We have porcupines?
Yes.
Wow, how about that?
And you wouldn't believe it, but they sleep in the trees. So when you're out there, you need to kind of be looking up. Yes,
my
they
gosh,
do.
I didn't.
It's a curious thing to see once you're up there.
This exhibit just opened, or what?
It is opening Friday, and we'll have a ribbon cutting at 9:30, and then from that point, it's free for all. So you kind of access it through the north end of the Heritage Farm. There will be some wayfinding signs because it is a ways out there, and it's just going to be a great experience for people to come out and enjoy the bosque in a nice protected area and enjoy the rest of the biopark as well.
Yep. And that's included in admission to the Botanic Garden.
Absolutely. Yes.
How much, just so people understand, how much of a little hike is it to go through the whole thing?
It's certainly a hike. You want to bring a nice sun hat, a water bottle.
And good shoes.
And good shoes. Parts of the trails are ADA accessible, so we can get people who have strollers, wheelchairs, walkers, that kind of thing, through the majority of the trails. There is, of course, the unimproved upper trail, but we're hoping as the exhibit progresses, the entire thing will become accessible.
So that sounds like a day of it.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, go out, see the Heritage Farm, see the Japanese garden, finish your day with bird watching in the Cottonwood Gallery.
And porcupine watching.
Yeah. They are curious little creatures, I swear. When the first time I saw one sitting in the tree, it was just, you never knew, you know. You just don't think that here in Albuquerque we have things like that, but there they are. So,
Maria, can I ask you a little bit about the biopark in general? Bring us up to date on the storm that happened. Some of the trees were damaged and things like that. What's the status of things now?
It's looking good. You know, we had quite a few trees and branches come down in those high winds. For the following week, there was a little bit of successive transition with, you know, additional trees coming down. But it seems to be pretty stable. And, you know, that's just kind of the nature of a cottonwood tree, is they are softwood. And a lot of these trees in here are a little older. And so, you know, we do have in these high winds some maintenance issues. And that's something that, you know, we address as well in the Cottonwood Gallery with the big, nice canopy there. As, you know, we say that it is a nature trail and that you will have to kind of be aware of weather conditions when you go out there. So it
Makes
is,
sense.
yeah, it's a caution, but, you know, it's absolutely worth it. But we've done a lot of work to get those trees, particularly at the zoo, cleaned up, and, you know, once again, it's just a wonderful place.
There was a lot of wood on the ground, wasn't there?
It was unbelievable. I think in the Japanese garden alone, we spent the entire day, the next day, just cutting branches. And it took a full week just to get them cleared out of, and, you know, that's a 3-acre exhibit. So I can't imagine the zoo, I think it took about 2 weeks to clean up completely.
It seemed like they got hit a little bit harder.
They did. I mean, they just have those huge trees there in the park. And I guess the best part of it is a lot lot of the zoo animals enjoy the cottonwood as browse. So, you know, the plus side was that we were able to create a lot of browse for the zoo animals.
Yeah.
That's well, I love the Botanic Gardens. I'm glad to meet you. And the details again, the Cottonwood Gallery exhibit opens this Friday. It'll be a ribbon cutting, and then you can wander through the Cottonwood Gallery itself. It's a natural gallery.
Yes,
And
it's
gonna be
just
wonderful.
beautiful. And, you know, we have lots of work still to do, so we'd love volunteers to come out and help us as well.
Oh,
Just a
good.
little volunteer pitch there.
Nice. Well, those volunteers, how can they get a hold of you?
They can call 311 to get through the ABQ Biopark, and they'll work through our education department.
All right.